What is going on, Juju Gang? Happy post Robotaxi day. We got a lot to cover, and I'll give you my thoughts on yesterday's big event. First, hit subscribe, hit like. I want to apologize first for the lack of videos. My setup has been discombobulated, but I'm here now. That's all that matters. Robotaxi news, Tesla down 8% as we sit here and talk about Tesla. 8%. Now, I guess that's the classic Tesla post-event move, right? Battery day, I remember the same thing happening. Obviously yesterday, 2 new cars unveiled, the RoboCab and then the RoboVan or the RoboVan. Here is why, in my opinion, Tesla is down. I'll give you my general thoughts. I think the event itself was kind of underwhelming. For it to be postponed from 8/8 to 10/10, you would have thought there would have been more than like a 20-minute presentation or a 20-minute talk, some more data, something more hardcore. Now, I don't want to shit on the whole thing because obviously I'm a Tesla fan. I love Tesla. I don't think there was anything wrong about it. I just think we were expecting a little bit more substance, or, I'll speak for myself. You can let me know in the comments if you disagree. I was expecting a little bit more substance, a little bit more. Hey, we are planning on launching California and Texas Robotaxi next year, which, by the way, they said, because what we're seeing in our trend of unsupervised data is this, and this is what the launch between FSD11 and FSD12 has been, and this is our update sequence, and actual Smart Summon launched, and this is how many cars. Like, I would have thought there would have been more to it. I think the fact that Elon is pretty much unscripted, and that's what we love about Elon, is that he's unscripted. You never know what you're going to get from him. Because he was unscripted, I think the presentation itself comes off a little bit like off the cuff. Now I'm not trying to compare Apple to Tesla, but if you compare Apple's events, Apple does world-class events. The marketing level there, and it's a little bit bureaucratic now, and we can get into the level of events today. But if you look at the science and the market, I'm a marketing guy. If you look at the marketing, specifically the copywriting and the script writing, the little visual cues that they put through, it is really world class. Like if you look at the iPhone release from Steve Jobs, that's a world class presentation, right? Down to the nitty gritty psychology of it. Now that's the benefit of being scripted. The con of being scripted is that it sounds robotic and boring, which, I guess Tesla events never are. In terms of the tech itself, of course, I love to see the bots. And by the way, we had this whole debate on our private Discord yesterday about, are these bots teleoperated? And, they're pouring drinks and they're doing all these things. I am on the team of they are teleoperated, and I think there's some people now coming out, G Monster being one of them, saying that it was teleoperated. But that doesn't, by the way, mitigate all of the technological advancement that the bot has made. Like, you still need the bot to have the degrees of freedom to be able to move and maneuver the way that you want it to. Who cares if it's teleoperated for now? The brain part will come. I don't think we have any doubt that Tesla can solve that. But the event itself, like in terms of the tech, in terms of the Robotaxi, this is why the market thinks this is why the market, I think, is pricing down the stock today. The Robotaxi is still in Elon time, 2026, and he says if not, or definitely before 2027. So when Elon says that, the market goes, okay, so you're thinking 2028. And I think what the market secretly hoped for better or for worse, is a model, the Robotaxi, coming out within the next year. Now, in the earnings call, just a couple earnings ago, I think a lot of us are forgetting that Elon and co said there is a new cheaper model coming out in the first half of 2025. Remember, that was slated for the second half of 2025, and they pulled forward that schedule, and they said it's looking like it's early 2025 now. And so that might be the Model Y Juniper, that might be some other derivative car in China, who knows? But there is something else coming there, I believe. They don't want to talk about that, of course, yesterday, because they're going to cannibalize all the sales of the 3 and Y for now. And what's the point of doing that? So that, and the RoboVan, we love the RoboVan in terms of the idea, the minivan, super futuristic looking, the inspiration comes from trains. I do love the fact that these cars actually existed. Like there's 50 or 20, there's several dozen of these robo cars driving people around, giving people tours. Amazing time, right? So my summation of this event is not negative, and I hope I didn't paint it that way in terms of looking at this event and going negative. I just thought there would have been a little more substance to the event itself. I hope that the timeline would have been a little bit sooner, because wherever timeline is given, the market and probably us, if we're being honest, we're definitely going to discount that timeline from Tesla. If Ashok comes out and says something, I think we are a little bit more, Ashok obviously being the head of Tesla AI, FSD, comes out and says a timeline, I think we're a little bit more apt to believe it because he's been on track and everything that they wanted to solve in September got solved, and October is here, now V13 maybe comes out. So we're a little bit more likely to believe his timelines. And by the way, that's another point. I really wish there was other speakers. Like, it's Robotaxi unveil day. Why did we not hear from Ashok? Why didn't we hear from some Tesla engineers? We've seen Tesla do more recruiting event style where they have more speakers, but even on an event like today, I wish there was more speakers from Tesla. Like, even if you look at Apple's events, it's not just Tim Cook who's going to speak, right? It's going to be the engineers behind the product itself. And by the way, I actually think that would have gone a long way in talking about Tesla. But anyways, the presentation itself was only like 25 minutes, right? So there's really not much you can expect in 25 minutes in terms of large substance. I mean, if you're getting 2 product unveils in 25 minutes, that's a fast timeline, So I did like how they didn't really talk about the specs too much, right, of the product, because we know that those are going to change anyways. And by talking about the specs, all you do is you set the standard here, or you set, like with the Cybertruck, for example, all the specs that changed between unveil and actual launch of the event of the car. You have people talking all negative about it. So I think they brushed over it, and I think that's the better way to do it. So anyways, I mean, stock down 8%. I honestly expected the stock to react a little bit more positively in the last few weeks. I was on Farzad and Herbert's stream yesterday, and I was saying in the last few weeks, I expected there to be more of a run-up in the stock than we had seen. So I thought there was actually a chance that if they say the one thing that is, in the immediate future here, that we rally on this event for once. And it seems like, as we stand right now, at least in the morning, as we trade, it's not looking likely. Tesla down 8%. So anyways, event, let's all that negative talk aside. I mean, this is insane, right? A self-driving car next year in California and Texas. That's the Model 3 and Y. The Robovan, the Robocab, all these things are awesome. It's just about timeline and execution at this point. The bots being in and around the people, it's still incredible, even though they're teleoperated, I think. Still incredible in terms of technology. So anyways, that is it for me. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment down below as to your thoughts about the event. And if you disagree with me, please let me know. No problem. I have no problem disagreeing with people, and I'm happy to change my mind on new information. Much love. Yash signing off. Take care. Thanks for all the support and love. Peace out.